All right. Okay, guys. All right. So we're back. We're still on chapter eight. Okay. We're still on chapter eight. And again, chapter eight, we ran through the theory. And again, the title of chapter eight is Implementing Ethernet Virtual Local Area Networks. Okay. So we talked about, some VLAN concepts, right? We talked about how VLAN is a broadcast, domain that's made by software. Okay. We're emulating that via um, via this software, via Eve, right? And we're going to go ahead and make sure we understand the concepts fully. Okay. So with our lab, what we were doing is we wanted to go ahead and see if we can communicate PC3, right, from PC3 to PC5, right? And we understand that there's configuration checklists in regards to VLANs. We understand that's a couple of topics that were covered were VLAN tagging concepts, right? We're talking about 802.1q, right? There were other concepts as well, right? As far as routing packets, right? Um, and some other things, right? But we need to establish some fundamentals and some baselines first whenever we have interconnections between multiple switches. Okay. And I'm taking you guys step by step through the chapter, right? Creating these examples. So, and of course, I'm going to ask you guys questions as well, so it makes sense. Okay. And you guys are just using things that are on the diagram. Okay. All right. So, with that being said, right, let's let me ask you guys the question that we left off on. And of course, ask I'm going to ask specific questions to you guys, right? And I just want you guys to just answer my specific questions, right? So, we have set up, right, two switches. We have switch one and switch two. In our design, in our diagram, both switches have both VLANs. Okay. They have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, but also, as you guys learned in earlier chapters, right? And of course, in this chapter, as a reminder, every switch is going to have um, pre-configured VLANs that's already on the switch, one of them being VLAN 1. VLAN 1 cannot be deleted or removed from the switch. Okay. With this being said, DeMarco, if I were to give an IP address to VLAN 10, okay, and I were to give an IP address to PC5, am I able to ping PC5 from PC3?
Yeah, you should be able to ping PC because they on the same VLAN. Um, and because both VLANs are on both switches.
Okay. All right. Okay. Same question. Antoine, should I be able to ping PC5 from PC3?
Let me see. My fault. Let me just check out the diagram real quick.
Take your time.
Technically, yes. Technically, yes. This is in the same VLAN.
Okay. Okay. Geary, should I be able to ping PC5 from PC3?
Just thinking, Dave.
Okay. Okay. While Geary's thinking, Antoine, come off mute. Let's talk through this.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about this diagram. We have a interconnection between switch one and switch two,
Right.
and we have connections hanging off of each switch to PC5 and PC3. So the source and the destination. Is that correct?
Wait. Say that again. I'm sorry.
we have connections to the source and the destination, aka PC3 and PC5.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So can we also say that PC3 and PC5 are in VLAN 10?
Based on the diagram,
Mm-hmm.
technically, yes.
Okay. Um, with that being said, when frames are incoming into the switch, are frames tagged? Are frames tagged? Has a specific VLAN or no?
You asked, repeat that question one more time.
If frames are coming in, are ingressing into a switch port off of a switch, and
Mm-hmm.
that switch port is in a specific VLAN, is the switch tagging that traffic, right, for VLAN 10?
Yes.
Okay. How?
It's tagging that it's tagging that frame based on the interface that's assigned to it. So what's this interface here?
Would that be tagging it, or would that be putting it within a broadcast domain?
Well, to my understanding, if this is in my understanding, it's its own broadcast domain,
What's its own broadcast domain?
VLAN 10.
Okay, that is correct. But you said you're positive that the switch is tagging every frame that's coming in for VLAN 10.
Oh no, not every frame. It's just that if it's coming, if if the switch is sensing that traffic is coming from that PC
Mm-hmm.
that is assigned to VLAN 10,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to tag those frames as VLAN 10 traffic.
Okay. So with that being said, why would we need to add a tag, right? Within the header, right? Within the layer 2 header. Why would we need to add that? What's the purpose?
Or inner VLAN traffic. Well, it needs to be tagged if it's
Think about it. It's okay. Gary,
Hey,
I'm
oh,
gonna tag. Go ahead.
DeMarco, you can give it a shot.
so I my question is because I'm looking at it right. So
Hmm.
I'm thinking maybe it needs to be a SVI involved to be able to carry that traffic
Nope.
over to that other switch.
Nope.
All right, cool. All right.
You need to read chapter 8 again.
So I'm no nah, I'm thinking about so we need the SBI whenever it's going to a different VLANs. Like if it was going from 10 and it was trying to ping to 20.
That's correct.
Uh yeah,
But
yeah. So I got you.
we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But good thought.
No,
Good thought.
got you.
So Gary, talk to me. Is the switch tagging, right, traffic from PC5 or PC3?
David, it is not going to tag
Ah, that's what I was looking for. Gary, tell me why it does not tag the frame.
because PC by default sends out a frame.
Okay.
PC doesn't tag anything, so it's just gonna send out a standard Ethernet frame without
Okay.
802.1q frame.
Keep going.
And once the switch receives it, since the frame came from a VLAN 10, actually frame came on a port 0/1, and we told the 0/1 port you are part of the VLAN 10 group
Mhm,
or a broadcast 10,
mhm.
basically it doesn't tag. It's a part of the access VLAN, right? The way that we actually assign the switch port, we tell it to be access port. And whenever we do that, it's gonna keep the frame as a standard Ethernet frame. Switch has that frame now. Can I walk you through how it will go to the other computer?
Nope, not yet.
Okay,
Not
so
yet.
I can leave
So
it there.
yeah, we'll leave it right there. Right.
Mhm.
But Antoine, come off mute. Talk to me. Right. So the switch, right? And I want you guys to understand this. The switch does not tag the frame. It does not. It
Mm.
does not tag the frame if it's incoming. Exactly what Geary says. All it does is it's putting it within that broadcast domain. That's it.
Mm.
When that frame is incoming into the port, those electrical signals are coming in. What DeMarco did on a switch, he said the sales VLAN, VLAN 10, right? This port is dedicated to the sales broadcast domain. That means via software, frames for VLAN 10, right, will be shot out of this interface as well, right?
Mhm.
So shot out and shot into. Because now I added this a part of VLAN 10's broadcast domain. Because what is a local area network? It is a broadcast domain. All a
Right.
virtual local area network is just a VLAN that's a local area network that's configured via software. That's it. Okay. Now,
Okay.
now let's talk about right you guys' answers as far as you guys saying that PC. Just looking at the diagram, and I'm saying this, I'm framing this for a reason because I want you guys to understand this for the exam. Antoine, you definitely gonna understand this.
Mhm.
I'm showing you for this diagram. I asked you guys from PC3 to PC5, will PC3 be able to ping PC5? Antoine and DeMarco, you guys said yes. Okay. Gary, I think you said yes as well, but you can correct me. I'm sorry. But anywhere on this diagram, did I say the interconnection between switch one and switch two um, is dedicated to multiple broadcast domains?
Mm. You did not. You did not say that.
I did not, didn't I? What you have labeled here is over that link, I just have VLAN 1, right?
Correct.
So even though, right, these switches have the same VLANs, exactly what DeMarco said. We can't do right. This this design can work, right? But we need something to make it work. We need a layer three instance, right? We need a switch virtual instance, right? That's providing layer three capabilities, right? That says, hey, we added an IP address for all the VLANs, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 1. We can pass traffic that way, right? But this is all layer two. So the correct answer is no. We only have one VLAN configured for this link. And I didn't tell you guys, right? And of course, based on yesterday's video, this isn't a trunk. And you guys can use context clues. Hey, this link only has one VLAN. It's either a trunk and only allowed one VLAN, or it's just an access port and it's only assigned to just VLAN one. Let's check our one. So we're going to log in to switch one, right? We're going to do a show VLAN. Now, if we do a show VLAN, right,
Right.
and it shows us that interconnection, right, it's telling us this interconnection is assigned to VLAN one, no other VLAN, right? Let's do some other checks. We do a show interface, gigabit, zero, oopsies, zero/0. Switch port. Let's take a look. Okay? Geary, help me out. All right? If we're looking at gigabit 0/0, what did we learn during the theory section that would tell us this is an access port?
Operational mode.
Absolutely. This is an access port. What else will tell us, right, that it's only carrying one VLAN? Let's go down here. It tells us trunking VLANs is enabled. We can. But what does it tell us after that?
Phoning VLAN enabled 221.0.0.1.
Absolutely. So even though this is a static access port, the software is telling us it can handle trunking, but what is the software doing? It is pruning VLANs 2 through 1001. So with that being said, DeMarco, asking you the question again, can PC3 communicate with PC5?
No, it wouldn't be able to. It wouldn't be able to ping.
Okay.
Communicate.
Okay. Good. Now, Antoine, right?
Yes.
Let's say, right, based on what we, based on needs, of course, of the business or what have you, if we want to achieve multi-switch VLAN communication, right?
Right.
What technology can we implement that involves VLAN tagging?
We would have to configure a trunk link between switch 1 and switch 2.
Oh, that's it. That's it. We would need a trunk, right? Right? We would need a trunk to be able to handle carrying multiple, right? Multiple virtual local area networks, right? And with that trunk, like you guys learned in chapter 8, this is where now, right? When frames are traversing the trunk, now we have to implement the methodology of VLAN tagging. This is where the switch would start tagging frames. Okay? It wouldn't tag frames just because it came in through a port. It's tagging frames because now, for the sake of passing traffic, I need to go ahead and say to my peer, right, another switch that speaks the same language as me, hey, by the way, PC3 is in the same broadcast domain as PC5, right? So just so you know, right, I'm going to go ahead and tag this traffic from PC3 that I know about. I'm going to tag it for VLAN 10, just so you know, and so it gets sent to the right broadcast domain on the other side. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you guys to read, again, pages, well, you guys probably got a different book. Read Virtual LAN Concepts, review the key topics, review creating multi-switch VLANs using trunking, review VLAN tagging concepts, and I want you to go ahead and review 802.1q and ISL VLAN trunking protocols. And then the next session on Sunday, we'll go ahead and move on to talking about forwarding data between VLANs. Okay, and DeMarco, this is your bread and butter. This is where we were talking about that layer 3 instance. Okay.
Got you.
All right, guys. Any questions?
Nah.
All right, guys. Well, you guys have a great night. Okay.
I appreciate it, Dave.
Bye.
Thanks, Dave.